Imagine looking up at the sky on a clear night. The stars shine like distant diamonds, the clouds drift effortlessly, and the sun and moon follow their predictable paths. It all seems so ordinary. But what if I told you that this is only the first layer of something far greater? The Bible speaks of 3 heavens, yet most people only recognize one. The first heaven is what we see, our atmosphere, the sky, the vast expanse where birds fly and planes travel. Genesis 1:6-8 tells us, "Then God said, 'Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters.' Thus God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven." But here's where things take a turn. Other belief systems describe this realm in different ways. In ancient mythology, the sky was often seen as the dwelling place of gods. Zeus ruled from Mount Olympus, while in Norse mythology, Asgard was connected to Earth by the Bifrost, a rainbow bridge. Yet the Bible makes a shocking distinction. This first heaven is only a shadow of something much more powerful, and what lies beyond is where things get truly mysterious. Before we move forward, think about this. If this first heaven is so vast, so filled with wonders like planets, comets, and galaxies, then what could possibly be greater? Let's step into the second heaven. Now, if the first heaven is what we can see, the second heaven is what we cannot see, but it affects us more than we realize. This is where things get intense. The second heaven is not the dwelling place of God, nor is it the paradise many imagine. Instead, it is a battleground, an invisible war zone where supernatural forces clash. Ephesians 6:12 warns us, "For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places." Pause for a moment. Did you catch that? Heavenly places. Not hell, not earth. Heavenly places. This means that in the second heaven, there are forces beyond our comprehension. Angels and demons, locked in combat, warring over souls, nations, and even your life. Daniel 10 gives us an unsettling glimpse into this invisible war. The prophet Daniel prayed for wisdom, and after 21 days, an angel appeared to him. But what the angel said next was shocking. "Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that you did set your heart to understand, your words were heard, and I have come because of your words. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. And behold, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me." Daniel 10:12-13. Think about this. Daniel's answer was delayed, not because God didn't hear him, but because a powerful demonic force blocked the angel from reaching him. It was only after the archangel Michael intervened that the angel could deliver the message. This raises a terrifying question. How many of our prayers are caught in the crossfire? This second heaven is where deception is formed, where rulers and authorities in the unseen world manipulate events on earth. Ancient religions and occult practices have long tried to tap into this realm. Shamans, mystics, and occultists speak of spirits, celestial beings, and entities that whisper secrets to them. Some even claim to travel beyond this physical world into a realm of knowledge and enlightenment. But what are they really encountering? In satanic rituals and high-level occultism, practitioners aim to pierce through this second heaven, believing they can access hidden power. What they don't realize is they are playing with forces that despise humanity. Satan himself is called the prince of the power of the air, Ephesians 2:2, meaning he operates in this very realm. When people engage in astrology, psychic readings, or occult practices, they may think they're communicating with benevolent spirits, but in reality, they are opening doors to beings who reside in this second heaven, beings who want to keep them from ever reaching the third. Now ask yourself, if this second heaven is so powerful, so full of conflict and deception, what could possibly exist beyond it? Because the third heaven is where everything changes. Now we step beyond the battlefield into something almost unimaginable. The third heaven is not just another layer of the sky. It is not the stars, the galaxies, or even the invisible realm of spiritual warfare. It is something far greater. This is where God himself dwells. The Apostle Paul gives us one of the clearest glimpses of this realm in 2 Corinthians 12, verse 2-4. I know a man in Christ who 14 years ago was caught up to the third heaven. Whether in the body or out of the body I do not know, God knows. And I know that this man was caught up into paradise and heard things that cannot be told, which man may not utter. This third heaven is not a place of war, nor deception, nor mystery. It is a place of absolute truth, total holiness, and unimaginable glory. John, in the book of Revelation, describes this place in terrifying beauty. And there before me was a throne in heaven with someone sitting on it. And the one who sat there had the appearance of jasper and ruby. A rainbow that shone like an emerald encircled the throne. From the throne came flashes of lightning, rumblings, and peals of thunder. Revelation 4:2-5. This is the throne room of God. The third heaven is beyond time. It is beyond human corruption. No evil can enter it, no darkness can exist within it. And here's the most shocking truth. No one is worthy to stand in the third heaven. Paul did not even know if he was in his body when he was taken there. He only knew one thing. What he saw was so overwhelming, so sacred, that he could not speak of it. Unlike the first heaven, which is open to all, and the second heaven, where war rages, the third heaven is guarded. No human being, no matter how good, no matter how religious, can enter by their own effort. It is a realm of perfection. And to enter perfection, one must be perfect. Here is where things take an unexpected turn. Many religions claim that good deeds, enlightenment, or rituals can lead someone into a heavenly afterlife. But the Bible states something completely different. All have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Romans 3:23. No one comes to the Father except through me. John 14:6. This means that no matter how much someone meditates, prays, or purifies themselves, they cannot enter the third heaven on their own. Think about that for a second. If no human effort is enough, then how do people get there? The answer is something few expect, because the key to the third heaven is not about reaching up. It's about someone coming down. Now, if the third heaven is so pure, so beyond human reach, then how can anyone enter it? Most people believe heaven is something to be earned, that if we live a good enough life, do enough good deeds, follow enough religious rituals, we will eventually climb our way up. But what if I told you that's the greatest deception of all? The Bible makes it painfully clear. No one can reach the third heaven by their own strength. No prayers, no charity, no religious devotion can erase the weight of sin that separates us from a holy God. In fact, Isaiah 64:6 states, "All our righteous acts are like filthy rags." Imagine trying to enter the throne room of a king, dressed in nothing but tattered, filthy rags. No matter how much you try to convince yourself that you're clean enough, worthy enough, you will be turned away. But here's where everything changes. Unlike every other religion that teaches people to reach up to God, Christianity reveals a truth unlike any other. God reached down to us. John 3:13 gives us a cryptic but powerful statement. No one has ascended into heaven except he who descended from heaven, the Son of Man. This is the mystery that so many miss. While every other belief system says, do enough, work enough, be enough, Jesus Christ says, it is finished. Think about it. No prophet, no religious leader, no guru has ever descended from the third heaven to rescue humanity, except one. Jesus did not just come to earth to teach good morals or start a new religion. He came because he is the only one who can open the doors to the third heaven. In John 14:2-3, he makes a shocking promise. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and take you to myself, that where I am, you may be also. Did you catch that? He did not say, climb your way up to me. He said, I will come back and take you. This is why no one who trusts in their own goodness will ever enter the third heaven. Because entry is not about effort. It is about accepting the one who already came from there. Because the greatest question is not just who can enter the third heaven. It's who will be left out. Now here's the part that no one likes to talk about. We have seen the three heavens. The first heaven, the sky we see with our eyes. The second heaven, the invisible realm of war and deception. The third heaven, the untouchable throne of God. And we have seen that no one can enter the third heaven by their own strength. Only through Jesus, the one who came down, can anyone gain access. But now comes the most terrifying reality. Not everyone will enter. Many believe that after death we will all automatically go to a better place, that as long as we are not evil, we will somehow find ourselves in paradise. But Jesus himself said something that shatters this idea. Enter by the narrow gate. For the gate is wide, and the way is easy that leads to destruction, and those who enter by it are many. But the gate is narrow, and the way is hard that leads to life, and those who find it are few. Matthew 7, verse 13-14. Did you hear that? Few will find it. This means that most people will not enter the third heaven. Some will reject Jesus outright, believing they don't need him. Some will be deceived by false religions, thinking they can work their way in. Some will hear the truth but ignore it, assuming they have plenty of time to decide. But the most shocking words Jesus ever spoke are found in Matthew 7, 21-23. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name cast out demons, and in your name perform many miracles? Then I will tell them plainly, I never knew you. Now depart from me, you workers of lawlessness. This is the twist that no one expects. Even some who think they are saved will be turned away. Not because they didn't do enough good works, not because they didn't try hard enough, but because they never truly knew him. Let that sink in. The greatest tragedy is not just missing heaven, it's standing at the gates and hearing, I never knew you. So here's the final question. Do you truly know him? Not just know about him, not just believe in the idea of him, but do you know him? Personally, deeply, intimately? Because in the end, the shocking truth about the three heavens is this. Only those who belong to Jesus will enter the third. And now, the question is yours to answer. If you were to die today, are you absolutely sure that you would enter the third heaven? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe in the three heavens? Have you ever experienced something that made you question the unseen world? Let's talk about it. And if you don't know where you stand, don't wait. Seek him while you still can. Because one day, the gates will close.